Welcome back, Internet. Well, we had an electric fencer for that guy out there. It was solar powered. It lasted 5 years or so. And it finally died. So now we have to install an electric one. Now that we have electric in the barn. So let's get this process started. Okay, so the instructions say that the grounding rods need to be 10 feet apart. But I don't want them out in the yard. So I put the first one at the corner of the building. And then 10 feet over, right where the water comes in. So I just went, I don't know, maybe another foot or two on the other side, just to be safe and stay away from the water. I don't want to dig that up this time of year. Well, let's get these stakes put in the ground. Okay, now that they're in the ground most of the way, those are 6-foot rods. Both of them are. And now I'm gonna dig around them some so I can put them down in the ground farther. Then we gotta dig a little bit of a trench, put a ground wire in there to connect them. All right, let's get that done. Alrighty, now what you got here is a clip. Put your grounding rod through the big hole. Your connecting wire through the little hole. They all have Phillips head screws. So let's get that done. I'm gonna keep this fairly close to the top, maybe like an inch down. Now open up the wire hole, grab a piece of wire. Up through the hole. And now you have a nice solid connection between the grounding wire, the clamp, and the grounding rod. Now I'm going to drive this down to this dirt. This is about shovel blades deep. So I'm going to drive it down into the ground, that way it's under the surface and I don't have to worry about tripping on it or a horse stepping on it and getting it in their foot. And then we're gonna run the wire down the line, and then we're gonna do this setup on that grounding rod down there. And I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, so this is the first one I did. Got the grounding rod in there, the grounding cable, everything's connected good. Got the wire running through the ditch. We came over here, hooked onto this grounding rod. Got the grounding cable here, and we got the ground running to the fencer. I put them both on the same stud. Should work just fine. They're both tight. Alrighty, so now we gotta fill the ditch in, fill these holes in. I need to get this wire inside. I need to get a hot wire ran to the fence. And then we gotta get the fencer put on. So let's get to it. So we have the ditch filled in now. We have the ground wire coming out of the ground, going to the fencer, and this is the hot wire coming back. We got it connected to the fence. That'll run down to that post. Where I have it connected to all three, and then it runs down under the ground, under the gate, and back up this side, and then all three lines connect down on that pole right there. It's where the solar powered fencer used to be. So let's get back inside and get the fencer put up. Okay, we're inside now. This is the ground and the hot wire both coming in. They both go up the wall, up the wall, up the wall, to the fencer. That was a little bit tricky to get to stay there while I was trying to put the hot and the ground wire on, because all they have is those little nubs, and it doesn't really sit there. Oh, now it's gonna sit there. Well, when you're playing with the wires, it doesn't want to sit there. But I ended up wrapping these around, because if you just stick them in there straight, they don't make a connection. So if you were running like 2 grounds or 2 hots, you'd have to do something different. Can't just run them in there straight. You'd probably have to bend both of them and then squish them with the nut. But those are a plastic nut with plastic thread in it, so you can't really tighten them down too much. This fencer says it puts out 0.7 joules, but I'll have to get a fence tester to find out what it really puts out for me. But right now, I got this one out there. She'll tell me. Hi. She's the one that told me my solar panels weren't working anymore, so I guess if she starts staying in the fence, we'll know if it's working, right? Huh, Molly? Yeah, ignore it. Pretend you're a good little pony. So for this project, I ended up using some fencing pliers, a drill. You can use a screwdriver. That's just what I had decided to use. Hammer. Put in staples that hold the wires. You need a sharp knife. So this is the wire I chose. Just an insulated, pre-insulated wire. Maybe, oh gosh. Oh, you almost had it. Come on. Come on. Oh, you got the glove. Anyway, it's a black wire in there. Well, the black is the insulator, and you got the wire inside of it. But that black plastic's super tough, so you're gonna need a good sharp knife. You're gonna need some screws to anchor it to the wall. And another thing I found that cut this wire good was these wire cutters. They don't cut all the way through it, but they get enough of the job done you can finish it with your knife. Not only did I put in a new fencer for the wife, I also cleaned out the barn for her. She's a lucky girl. Well guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. That's a wrap on that one. I want to ask if you like this video, please like it and subscribe. It'll definitely help out my channel. Wait a second, story time. So the other night I had that fencer all set up, ready to go. And I don't know, it just didn't seem right. It wasn't hitting right. The little light indicator in the box, it should have been flashing like that. But it had just enough flash in it that you could tell it was flashing. But you could still hear it clicking. So I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe it's alright. I didn't have my tester, so I just took this piece of wire right here and pushed it against this metal post. And it had a little bit of a spark, so I didn't think anything of it. Must be good to go. Well, the other day, over there at the end of the pasture, where the wires end, I grabbed a piece of grass and put it up there, and I didn't get bit. So I brought it back over here where the fence first comes out, and I put it on this piece of wire right here, which should have given me a pretty good little shock through the piece of grass, because it comes out of the barn right there. Right there. But with no shock there, I was like, well, maybe the fencer's junk. So I took it back and got another one. Same thing. So I was like, well, that must mean there's a short somewhere. I went around the fence the other day, I didn't find anything. I had the wife with me, and she's like, well, what about the chicken fence? Which is this fence right here that runs all the way down to the road where it turns right there. And sure enough, it was shorting out on the fence. They were touching. You can see the burn marks right there on the fence where they were touching. Maybe. So we put in a push-pull and got that bent up off the fence. And now she's hitting hard as ever, just like she should. I don't think I'll have a problem with the pony now, as long as I keep that fence off of it. Well, now the video's done. I want to thank you for watching. You have a good day.